Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to call the City of Benton Harbor Commission meeting to order. We'd like to begin with an invocation by Pastor Andre Palmer of Bethel Restoration Christian Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by the City Manager of Benton Harbor, Mr. Alex Little. All rise.
Let us bow our heads. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for gathering us here tonight. We thank you for your hand of blessingness upon this city. Lord, we thank you for this meeting, God. We're asking for your hand of blessing to be here with us as we talk over business concerning our city. Father, we pray in the name of Jesus that we are touched in our minds, our hearts, and our spirits, that we would move this city forward, and that, God, you will be with us in all that we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Present.
Commissioner Henderson,
Present.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Present.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton, Commissioner Warren,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Present.
Mayor Mohammed.
Present.
You have a quorum.
This brings us to the approval of minutes, regular minutes, October 6, 2025. Is there a motion for the approval? Motion is made by First Ward Commissioner Sharon Henderson.
Support.
It is supported by Mayor Pro Tem Seats. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats. It is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Third Ward Commissioner Juanita Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. I did send in some requests for some questions on this AP listing in this period, and I did not get a response as yet. I was a little late with my request, but I still haven't received a response. So I will be voting no, because some of the questions that I asked really needs to be clarified.
Call for the question.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henry? No. Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? No. Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to our first presentation, the Community Risk Reduction Award. It will be presented. I yield to the city manager for this period.
I believe this one that you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Commission, Honorable Mayor, in September, our Public Safety Department, specifically our Fire and Code Compliance, was honored with a national award, the Community Risk Reduction Program of the Year Award. We received in Kansas City this year. And tonight with us, we have three of our five inspectors. We have Dr. Paul Dell. Dr. Dell is also an ER doctor in addition to, Doc, come on up front. In addition to being one of our firefighter inspectors. We have Tim Tracy, another one of our firefighter inspectors, and then Maurice Bruce, our code investigator. Two additional of our inspectors couldn't be here tonight. They're in Detroit in a fire investigation class. However, what's different about Benton Harbor than everyone else, and we even get criticized by our neighbors for doing this, is our code compliance firefighters are about improving quality of life and life safety. And that's, you know, when you think about what a firefighter's job is or what a public safety officer's job is, life safety is always number one. We will save more lives through code enforcement, fire prevention than we ever will going inside burning buildings. So on behalf of the Department of Public Safety, just present this award to the city. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Little, and the commission for your support for what we do.
Thank you, sir. This brings us to our citizens' comments or public participation. There is a 3-minute maximum per speaker. Please sign in with the clerk, and she will call you according to the registered list. I yield to the city clerk.
Andre Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pastor Andre Palmer. I am the senior pastor of Bethel Christian Restoration Center, located at 246 Pipestone Road, right here in the lovely city of Benton Harbor. And I am here to do two things: express a concern and to propose a solution. Recently, as I've been paying attention to some of the meetings that have been going on down here at the city, the committee meetings and even the council meetings, some things were brought up concerning our homeless population and our homeless citizens who congregate downtown. In those meetings, in particular, the October 8th meeting, even though what I'm speaking about is not on the agenda tonight, I still would like to speak to the issue. The October 8th meeting with Public Safety and Public Works, and the Finance and Personnel meeting that happened on the 15th. I would like to speak to some of the things that were said in those YouTube videos very briefly. And I just want to kind of read an email that I sent to the council, sent to the mayor, sent to city manager, sent to all of the commissioners, because I wanted to share this with you all, not to point blame in a sense, but to provide a solution for some of the things that we see happening downtown. So let me quickly read through here because my time is running out and I am a preacher. So first of all, I just want to address that some things were said concerning moving the homeless citizens, and I hate to call them homeless, but they are displaced, and they are our citizens. They are our people, our relatives, our folk who congregate down here at the City Center Park. But I want to address some things that were said and stated by the city manager. And I appreciate you all responding to my email that I sent out earlier today. I really do appreciate that. But anyway, in those YouTube videos, some things were said about moving the homeless citizens to the 272 building outside of the building on a driveway and a piece of property that's 50 by 90. And it's adjacent to Dr. Tynes's
Could you
property.
Could you finish your thought, please?
Yes, sir. And my property. So I'm done. So to keep going, can I just take 1 second? My solution is, the problem was this being put in place without any knowledge from any pastors in that local area, And it creates a problem because we sit between a liquor store, which is problematic, but also no one informed the pastors and leaders in that area where we have activities going on with our youth, and we have a lifeblood. The lifeblood of the church is active every week doing things in that area. And we know that some of our homeless citizens have substance abuse problems, and so that creates a problem on several fronts. My solution would be, as I stated in my email today, would be for us to have a homelessness forum at my church this Thursday at 6 p.m. Invite the city council, invite all the stakeholders, the churches, and any organizations who would love to be a part of the solution. I don't claim to have all of the answers, but I know as a community that if we tackle this problem together, we can get it done.
Thank you.
Corey Burton.
Okay, hi, my name is Corey Burton, and I am the founder and executive director of Grounded Incorporation, and I'm also an active board member at my church, Bethel CRC, that Pastor Andre just spoke about. And I just wanted to piggyback off of kind of what he said and kind of provide my point of view. And I just wanted to speak to two things because, as he stated, the plan was to move our homeless population to that little driveway by our church and right next to a liquor store. And I just wanted to speak to the safety and the sustainability of that plan. So first off, the safety, while we don't assume that our homeless population will act out or cause harm to our children, we want to be proactive and not reactive. So we want to prevent these things from happening, especially when we're talking about two vulnerable populations coming together right next to a liquor store. Secondly, I wanted to speak on the sustainability of this plan. As I'm learning and as my Pastor Andre stated, my uncle, homelessness and combating this is a very complex issue. And so it's going to take all of us coming together. Sorry, I forgot my next thought. And as my uncle would say, this is a Kairos moment for our community because we can move forward with this plan to just move our citizens outside and winter's coming up in a driveway, or we can put our minds together and come to the meeting that my pastor proposed to actually come up with a solution. No matter what, 5 or 10 years from now, we're going to have to look back at the decisions that we make today, and we want to be able to say that we left a legacy for the people that are here now and the ones that are coming. So, thank you for your time.
Mary Harris.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mary Harris, and I'm a citizen of the Benton Harbor community, and I've lived in my home for about 33 years. And my concern today is the issue of the roots that's growing from the property of the trees that are raising the sidewalks up at least 1 to 2 inches up off the ground. And those roots can kind of come up through your home. This is on a city property. And it can kind of come through your home and eventually wind up into your house, up on the bottom of your house. So that's a major concern, not only for me, but for some of the other neighbors in the neighborhood, too. I brought a couple of pictures of the two trees that I'm really concerned about that are really up, about elevated off the ground, probably for about maybe 2 to 4 inches. So if you can look at them, I ran out of color ink, so, if you want to look at these pictures, you can. The other concern I have is about all the trees. There are 12 walnut trees on my block. 12. So you can imagine what the streets look like, when all these walnuts start to dropping these walnuts down from here. And if you're capable, if you're walking down through there and you get, personally hit in the head with a walnut, that can really hurt. And the thing that concerns me most is that the streets are terrible. And we never know when they're going to come by the street cleaning, so we can kind of rake those walnuts and things out in the street so they can come. They came by today and they did the streets. Nobody knew about that. So there's a lot of walnuts on the city lawn that we can either kind of rake out there in the streets if we knew they were coming, so they can kind of sweep them up. And that's another issue. It was about communication. There's things that are happening in the city of Benton Harbor. I talk kind of fast, so forgive me. There's things that happen in the city of Benton Harbor that most people, especially myself, are not aware of. I work only part-time, but I do a lot of things in the city of Benton Harbor because I work for the citizens, the community. I am a healthcare provider. So, giving us things that we need to know about as far as like how much it's going to cost you to put out a mattress, how much it's going to cost you to put out this if you're kind of buying the furniture. Personally, myself, I never knew that until a month ago, so I don't know how it went out, but it started in February, and I had no idea if that was going to happen. So that's one issue. The next issue is those trees that's on my block. They are huge. They've never been toppled off since I've been there, and they are leaning over the people's homes. If they fall, if they break, if there's a really, really windstorm, those leaves are going to fall on people's homes and break roofs and things like that. So I think those are some things that need to be taken care of, need to be looked at, especially on my block in front of my house, in front of the house next door. They're gonna hurt somebody. And also one last thing is about picking up leaves. They're leaving leaves there, they don't pick them up on time. My trash runs on Thursday, they're supposed to pick up leaves on Friday. The next door neighbor had his leaves out there on Thursday, so did I. They picked up my leaves, but they did not pick up his leaves. And so, I'm like, why did they pick up my leaves and not his? So I asked somebody today that was doing the street strip, he said, we're gonna get them. Well, as I left today, they're still sitting there. And when it rains, they get wet. And I know they may complain about they're heavy, but if you got all of those walnuts in those bags, they're gonna be heavy. So, with 12 walnut trees, what can we say? Thank you.
Meredith George.
Good evening. My name is Meredith George, and I am an applicant for the Downtown Development liquor license. I've lived in the Arts District in the 4th Ward for over 13 years. It's always been my dream to own a business in my own neighborhood. I've spent the past few years starting, running, and growing a business in St. Joe, and now I'm finally able to bring everything I've learned back to the community that I've called home for over a decade. With our landlord and partner, the Clement Construction Group, we're bringing a long-abandoned building on Park Street back to life as the Arts District Wine Bar and Social Club, a space for culture, music, and connection for the community. Between our personal investment in over $100,000 and the Clement's $350,000, we're putting more than $450,000 of private funding into our own neighborhood. For over a decade, this building sat inactive, meaning no jobs, no foot traffic, and now this will generate new tax revenue, local employment, and year-round activity and vibrancy for everyone to enjoy. From day one, we're creating at least 2 full-time jobs and several part-time, plus more on show days, including roles for bartenders, event staff, security, among other opportunities. Our programming will include national touring artists, jazz, comedy, blues, along with themed dance nights, wine tasting, private events, corporate gathering spaces, and weddings and other events for the local people to use. It's safe late night entertainment for adults, and we're creating something hopefully the city can be proud of. This won't be a snobby wine bar. That's not my goal. It's meant to be approachable, welcoming, and inclusive. A beautiful space to enjoy wine and events, all just a block from the place that I've called home for 13 years. We're also proud to build on the momentum of all the other Arts District pioneers, including the Livery, ARS Gallery, Water Street Glasswork, the Citadel, the Mason Jar, the Ghostlight Theater, Houndstooth, and many others who've believed in this neighborhood. And for me personally, this is a full circle moment. I've worked in the Arts District for over 10 years, serving beer at the Livery, pouring coffee at the Phoenix, helping open the Ghostlight Theater, and performing as a local musician. This neighborhood and the people in it have shaped so much of who I am, and it's incredibly meaningful to now return as a business owner and help contribute to its next chapter. We love this city, we believe in this neighborhood, and after 13 years of living in the 4th Ward, we've put everything on the line to help it grow, and I'm here to ask for your support for voting yes on our downtown redevelopment liquor license so we can bring this vision to life. Thank you.
Angela Berry.
Hello, everyone. She just spoke my name. My concern is the things that's going on with the people who's supposed to come in office. My concern is Do you check their background records? Because it's some nuts you call coming in here. They done some things, they shouldn't even be, be on the voting, be even voting. Be on the, what you call it, they shouldn't even be on the ballot. Anytime you're running around here playing like you're a policeman, and you're not, you got a problem. Anytime you're using your body to get votes, to bully people to get votes, it's a problem. That's a mental problem. And we got to be careful who we put up on these seats. We really do. I'm very concerned because it don't involve us, it involves our children, our grandchildren. That's what I'm concerned about. I really am. And Mr. Hoy, he came in, he spoke about a lot of things. I'm not to be, you want to bully me, you can do that. But I'm not worried about you. I don't fear you. Period. Not one bit. Never done it. And I'll never start now. Something needs to be done. I don't know what you all do, but something needs to be done. It's sad. How did they even get on the ballot? That's my question. How did they make it on the ballot? How did they do that? Is somebody not doing their job or what? As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with what's here. I really am. You know, that's all I have to say. But I'm gonna be on it and I'm gonna stay consistent on it because I'm concerned. Not only for my children, but for everybody else's children. And threats, I'm not even worried about that. I ain't worried.
Joan Hart.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joan Hart. A lot of you know me already. The reason I came was about the homeless population, but because it's not on the agenda, I'm not going to go deep into that subject because I have another pet peeve. I am upset about the glass on the streets. The people that ride bicycles are really being hit hard because they're encountering the glass. It's not really getting picked up regularly. I have been picking it up for years in the shape of a whole bottle before it's in 1,000 pieces, which is a lot more hard to pick up. Okay, that's one thing. There's got to be a way to find these people that are breaking bottles on purpose. Secondly, I've spent a significant amount of time in the last 9 months where you want to move the homeless population or help them. I'm not really sure what the motive is. I'm not going to go to that point because that's for you to know how you feel in your heart. But in my heart, I have mixed feelings because I know the people need something. I know that they feel run out of the park, and I know that the Salvation Army can't do everything. And so I suggest that Andre has the best plan to have a forum where we can really hash it out and see what can be done. Because the Barn Church has really helped. There's a coalition of churches trying to help these people. Some of them are just at the park because they enjoy the park, and they're not homeless. As the other night, there were only 2 men that spent the whole night in the park. I went and checked. So it's not an overwhelming problem, but when it gets a polar vortex, someone could die out there. So I know Dr. Tyne has the warming center, but we really don't have a place for the people to go at night when they are too high to get into the Salvation Army. They won't let them in that way. And so that's dangerous, and I think we can do better. I think there is a solution, and I think we all need to work on it together and not ostracize the people if they drink or whatever. I mean, I drink beer, but the thing is, you can't drink it all day, all night. I mean, you got to do some work sometime in there. But the thing I think, I did mention to H&B that I thought it was on the agenda because, you know, tax money comes in from people who buy things on sales tax. And I think the city gets a part of the sales tax money from the state. I'm not sure. But Nonetheless, they do spend money, and the other problem is that if they can't spend money and they still want the product, they might end up with it. Thank you.
Mary Alice Adams.
And believe it or not, I got the nerve to be nervous. Oh, gosh. Hello, everyone. Oh, gosh, I don't know where to start other than from the beginning. About 25, 26 years ago, when I first moved to Ben Harbor, I had like a whole forest that I paid about $2,000 to have removed. And I had a beauty shop in my home, of a room that we built onto the house. And there was an existing building there, and men would be utilizing the bathroom, you know, behind the building. My ladies, my clients could see this, so I put up a fence. A weed, an overgrown weed is not a tree. And that's a problem I have. And I have great respect for the young lady that just left, Miss Jones. Happens to be my neighbor. And there's some things going on that are just totally unacceptable. I really appreciate her concern for the homeless, and that's what I really want to address. Because when I sat over there as legislative chair, I knew that the time was coming. Listening back in 2000 to some of the recovering addicts that came before the commission trying to find placement and to help people to clean their lives up. Some of these are the homeless people of even today. As legislative chair, I tried to push the initiative to get onto this lawsuit. Okay, the money has come down. See, Benton Harbor, we just shouldn't be pointing the finger at Benton Harbor for the homeless, but there's some money available, and the county need to be doing their part in helping to find some solutions to these very problems that we are trying to address. Because it may be not all of them are homeless, and some by choice, because some people just don't like the responsibilities of bills. And we can't solve the world's problems. Homelessness have always existed, and guess what Jesus said? They will always be among us. I just recently almost became one myself. So with my life changes, I'm looking at turning my property into a part of the nonprofit that I created for this community and turning it into a trust and allow elected officials or whomever to take reign of it and utilize it for the community as a whole. And that's just my solution. I'm looking forward to the meeting that Pastor Andre is going to be having. Thank you.
Deidre Fields.
Good evening, good evening. So two things. One, I'm coming here because I had different residents actually speaking to me over a period of time and asking in regards to how does it work to become involved in the commission or in regards to community business, right? They were asking about different boards and different committees and that there'll be openings, and asked how that part works after the application, which I have already spoken to the clerk before, and I understand that the application goes to the clerk and then the mayor solely makes the decision as to who moves forward. So the question then is, do they keep applying or not? And then people have asked about, is that always the case? When did it start? And things of that nature. So that was my first statement that I wanted to make. The second one is that the hub is open to help with the homeless at whatever place. We don't need picnic tables or anything. We have space inside with tables and chairs. And if anybody, again, would like to help, they can at their leisure or at their own expense, more or less, right? Because I have a rotation of individuals coming in for clothing, coming in for respite. A lot are the unhoused and those with different mental deficiencies, right? And so I want to stress that. So in the interim, and I will be at the meeting, you guys know, you'll see me there if anybody comes in regards to solutions. But again, those are the two items at hand. So again, one was in regards to getting on committees. How does that happen? So per the clerk and per the processing, that from my understanding, and correct me or not correct me not, or something if I'm wrong, that they complete the application, which the clerk sees, and then she gives to the mayor, and he decides if someone moves forward or not. And then they go before the legislative committee to be accepted, more or less. And this is the process I went through. And then you are sworn in, so to speak, and accepted by the whole at the following full commission meeting. So if I'm wrong, let's, clear that up so no one is confused in the community. And again, the hub is open.
Dr. Tynes.
Reverend Dr. Tynes, hopefully we can get to a point of unity that we move in the direction of family. But for clarity, because innocent individuals such as the homeless, those with mental health, are sometimes seen as an eyesore by some, and the move that brought us all here, I wanted to make sure that there was clarity and transparency at the anger against Reverend Dr. Tynes. To make it clear, on June 12th of 2025, it was pointed out to the Personal and Finance Committee that Mr. A. Little was not eligible to apply for city manager position. Number one, he was not eligible for the city manager position because of his multiple firings as a city manager, suing the city twice, winning one case and losing the other. In addition, he attempted to embezzlement by trying to give himself a $30,000 raise at Dollar Ride without the knowledge of the board, and therefore was immediately terminated and personally escorted out the door by Commissioner Emma Kennard. Second, he had poor performance evaluation reviews as a planning economic director for the city commissioners. The commission, during the interview process, were told not to ask questions about his previous firing, but they could ask questions about the other candidates. He scored lower than the top candidate for the city manager. So I'm asking that the community economic development resolution attacking the homeless is an indirect attack towards me, recommending Ms. Deidre Fields as Commissioner at Large. The homeless are innocent. Please, Mr. Little, Chair of Economic Development and Chair of Public Works and Safety, please keep your personal attacks towards me and not the innocent bystanders. We have to be looking out for the seniors. We have to be looking out for the youth, the children, the babies. We have to be looking out for the community. We have to start building while we're losing, because we are not in the process of being moved as a group, as a family, or as a people. This here is a thing of gentrification, and the definition of gentrification is when black politicians work with white businessmen or developers to remove a black population from given communities throughout Detroit, throughout New York, throughout New Jersey, etc. This should be that mecca that we, for together, that we go hand in hand as brothers and sisters. You put down to Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King was there for the homeless and the least of these, and that now you're saying that the least of these cannot sit by Martin Luther King or gather around Martin Luther King. So we have to make sure we get our focus right, our priorities right, that we can't be politicians, but we can't be individuals who speak one thing but live another. We have to show love for one another. The homeless is not there by themselves, but because of things that happen economically when jobs are lost. Thank you.
No more comments.
I'd like to thank everyone for their public participation. This brings us to our consent calendar. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar, or are there items that should be separate?
Make a motion to approve.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I like to separate 3, 4, and 5.
The chair recognizes Third Ward Commissioner.
I ditto that. Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner at Large Singleton. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the first separated item, a resolution approving the updated finance director job description. Is there a motion for the approval?
Make a motion to approve. Support.
A motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats. It is supported by Commissioner Isom. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes 4-4 Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I really don't need to change this. It's all laid out in the charter, and to me, it's just a suggestion to finance director authority and give him less access. That was the problem we had with the last finance director. He wasn't getting what he needed, and then according to charter, he's supposed to be over the finance department. Not just the things that's laid out that city manager was saying that he should only be over. So I just think leave it like it is. Nothing should be changed.
Just want to reference the memo. It says recommendation, the Benton Harbor City Commission approves of the updated job description for the finance director. Justification, the city of Benton Harbor is currently seeking a qualified finance director. The finance director works under the direction of the city commission. It has been some time since the job description for finance director has been updated. The Personnel and Finance Committee reviewed and vetted the updated job description for the finance director. It is in the best interest of the city to update the job description in hopes of receiving qualified applicants for the position of finance director. Financial impact, none. We look at the finance director position that's being changed, supervised by the city commission. One of the things that is being changed is employees assigned to finance and treasury department, accounts payable clerk. Then it goes on, something that has changed. Under the direction of the city manager, also works with the city manager. Under the direction of the city commission and also works with the city manager and the management team. This position plans and directs the financial accounting and treasury functions of the city. Oversees and supervises the work of employees assigned to the financial services. That's scratched. The accounts payable clerk. I do have a problem with that because the finance department is separate from, it's like the clerk's department or the city attorney, the finance, the assessor, where at one point we had a deputy finance director. And anything dealing with finance will fall under the direction of the finance department. And the charter does spell that out. So I don't understand why it would say oversees and supervises the work of employees assigned to financial services, why that would be taken out and just limited to the accounts payable clerk. That would mean that how could there be a deputy director if that position is, because the deputy director is not the accounts payable clerk. It's just like the deputy clerk. In the event that something happens to the city clerk, the deputy clerk would step in. No different than the city manager. If something happens to the city manager, then the assistant manager would step in. In the same way with the office of the mayor, the Mayor Pro Tem would step in. So I think that we should be very careful in changing certain things. I don't see any reference to the city charter, which outlines and defines the position of the finance director as well as the finance department. Essential job functions, an employee in this position may be called upon to do any of all the following essential functions. That's scratch. To perform the job successfully, an individual must be able to perform each essential function satisfactorily. These examples do not include all the duties which employee, so that's pretty broad. Then it comes down to number 3, supervises the preparation and the issuances of the prepares and issues the tax bills and collection of taxes. Then it's scratch, oversees the disbursement of disperses taxes. So who would oversee that? If the city finance director does not supervise the preparation and issuances of the taxes, or who would oversee the disbursement of the taxes if it's not the finance director?
Should be the city income tax administrator Galladay.
Totally, the city income tax is a separate department, or it's really not even department, and actually, it should be, the city income tax office should operate under the finance department. It is separate, but it's still finance. But the way that it was set up in the beginning, we didn't have a finance. We were under emergency management at that time, and all employees reported to the city manager. I see you, Mayor Pro Tem. You're next. So that's something that I think we would need to look at, is how is the city administrator position going to exist with a finance department, given that that is exclusively financial. However, it is separate because it's governed by the state ordinance, but that office has to report to a particular department, or otherwise a new department would have to be created. Supervisor seems to be a word that's offensive to the position, where it says prepares but scratches supervises. The city finance director, according to the city charter, is the head of the finance department, which means there are supervision powers in that office. You have 5 employees: city manager, city clerk, city attorney, city assessor, and the city finance director. And every department head, every director has supervision powers. So to strike supervision out of the role of the finance director, I think is offensive to the charter. So I don't know. Prepares, again, or supervises the preparation. So I don't know who is against the director being a supervisor. Requirements include a master's in accounting, finance, business, public administration. Can I ask who prepared this?
We know this in the personnel and finance, and we sent it out to all the commissioners.
Who prepared it?
From the last one we had.
And who made it, who edited it?
The Personnel and Finance Committee went over it. The original was brought to them last month to look at. A couple, as far as the requirements, was discussed last month, and then that was brought forth this month, and then the rest was changed in the Personnel and Finance Committee meeting.
Madam Clerk, could you please read from the charter what the finance director position is? And I beg your pardon, I left mine in the office. Unless you, Commissioner Isom, you can, I see you have your charter, you most diligent. Because I would like this, that should be, I mean, that's the,
Director of Finance. The Director of Finance shall have direct supervision over the Department of Finance and the administration of the financial affairs of the city, including the keeping of accounts and financial records and collection of taxes, special assessments, and other revenues, and shall have control of and be the official depository for the funds of the Market Board and Cemetery Board and Library Board and such other boards or funds as the commission may direct, and perform such other duties as the commission may be ordinance prescribed.
so I'm gonna ask Mr. Chair, if the city charter deems that the finance director not only has supervising powers, but control of all distribution of taxes and of that department, why are we striking supervision and turning it to just a preparer? Because I think that goes against the job description as laid out by what governs this city. I'm going to yield to the Mayor Pro Tem.
I just move that we table it. I think that this needs to go back to not just finance, but legislative. I think if you're going to change the charter, number one, you need to go through the legislative committee. And also, we need to go to the attorney to see how this challenges our charter, because if you change the charter, then there's another issue. But I do believe that we do need to update some things in the charter, because at the time of this charter that it was written, we did not have the income tax, the city income tax, nor an income tax director. So I think we do need to go back to the drawing board, and I make a motion to table it.
Support.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Kennard?
This is the table?
Correct.
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Clerk Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to our next separated item, resolution approving small claims policy. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. Is there support? If there's no support, then this motion fails to move forward. For the lack of support, this item will not be taken up for vote. This brings us to the next separated item, resolution approving downtown development district license for St. Joe Wine Shop. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Edward Isom. Is there support?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner Singleton. Is there discussion? The chair recognizes Fourth Ward Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Well, first of all, let me just say, we don't need no more liquor stores or businesses selling liquor downtown. We have enough of them down there already. Another thing, this is the same company, Cleveland Construction, that did the lead line, then came back and bought 40 properties. And recently, I believe several months ago, we just gave redevelopment, approved to get the redevelopment liquor license and be a part of social district for a lot of business, a lot of buildings that they bought that is not even open yet, that are vacant. Another thing is, I don't even believe, I think that might even be borderline of the social district. And this is also the same company, Cleveland Construction, who is pushing Ben's Pretzel out, the small business down there. They came in and bought that building and raised the rent 28%. Now Ben's Pretzel is got to move. And they talked to me and they do not want to move. They've been there 4 years. They love where they are. And it's a shame. It's a shame. So that's another thing. And I believe it's borderline conflict of interest. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Through the chair, I would ask of the city manager to verify some information. It says in this resolution that we're reading that somebody is putting forth close to $75,000 or $300,000 worth of rehabilitation and improvements. And is this part of the downtown DDA? Is this construction that is, because this says on our resolution, it says St. Joe Wine Shop. I just want some kind of clarity so that the community will know what the right information is. It does say St. Joe Wine Shop is asking for this and not anyone else. And if it is anyone else, then is there a way that we can find out that it's someone else? And how much are they investing in that building? And do we have any kind of personal conflict of interest through the chair to the attorney or to the city manager? Thank you.
The city manager is recognized.
That are raised, but to my knowledge, I don't believe Clement Construction is involved directly in this. It may be a landlord, I'm not certain, but I'm sure they're not part of the business.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
In the public comment, Ms. George stated that Clement Construction was part of, what their partners. You can play it back.
So I would just like to say that I took a tour of this building that has been not only an eyesore, but it's been a complete violation and total hazard to the downtown area. And the investment that will go into it will absolutely, totally revitalize that corner. The city of Benton Harbor is in dire need of not just an arts district, but we need an entertainment district where we can bring in people from around the country to perform in downtown Benton Harbor. As stated, the livery has really done a yeoman's job with the space that they have and the platform that they have. But I believe that the city of Benton Harbor could host, like the Four Winds Casino, some of the top acts in the world. And that's just my opinion. Right downtown Benton Harbor. The redevelopment of our downtown is going to take a diverse business, the business groups that bring different elements to make up a vibrant downtown. And from my knowledge, this group is not seeking any special favors or tax breaks or brownfield, or I believe that they're investing their own money. And not only are they investing their own money, but they live here in Benton Harbor. So we have a resident of Benton Harbor investing their own money in a building that has been desolate and without life. So, as the mayor of the city, wanting to make Benton Harbor conducive for not just business development, but to create jobs, to create appeal, and to create a new downtown. It's difficult for me, unless there's some other information brought forward, to decline or deny a business the opportunity to improve our downtown area. So I support this initiative, and please invite others to invest in our downtown area. Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Through the chair to the city manager, has this entity violated any code compliance, or are they're gathering the right permits to do what needs to happen? It says right here that they will be doing structural repairs, masonry repairs, roofing, mechanical system, exterior improvements, environmental assessment, and interior restoration. Does not all that have to come through the city inspections department? Thank you.
Yes, it will all require permits that will go through inspection along with the plans and so forth. And if I might remind us, when we did the modification to the DDA boundaries, it was pointed out at that time that this business and the property on the back of that building, which is this business, I believe, was in the process of being developed, and that's what it was done for. That's the purpose that the state of Michigan creates downtown development authorities and the social districts and that type of thing, in order to help downtowns to bring investment back into the community, jobs and so forth.
Chair recognizes Commissioner at Large Kennard.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm in agreement with Commissioner Griffin. We've got so many things that can bring about negative things, as far as when we even had on the planning commission to put forward the dispensaries for marijuana and things like that, and it was supposed to make the city move a lot smoother and gain a lot more traction financially. And I haven't seen an improvement. We're still always in the red for something. And so we've got, don't know how much alcohol already. We have a problem with sometimes people even become displaced because of their condition with alcohol. And I'd say recreational marijuana. And so these things are out there, and you want to know just how much is it bringing a plus to our community. You have cars that pass you, and everybody that car passes gets a contact high because you can smell it all up and down the streets. Now, we've got to get some constructive thinking and about the things that we're letting come into our city. So I think we have enough of that already. We're talking about entertainment. We got a lot of entertainment, but is it constructive? Is it making anybody's livelihood any better? So I'm just concerned about us making wise decisions. We got more than enough alcohol and all these other things that you have that's coming about that really doesn't bring constructive life to our community. Thank you.
Just lastly would say, and I think the Mayor Pro Tem pointed out the investment, up to $300,000, which includes but not limited to structural repairs, masonry repairs, roofing, mechanical systems, exterior improvements. Not only will this create revenue for the city in the form of improvement for taxes and permits being pulled, but again, the beautification. If somebody else had a plan, I wish they, would have shown up. But to deny those who do show up, and this building has been, I wish I could put a picture of it up here so people could see the building that we're talking about. But, I think that it's a great idea. I won't be drinking, but I can't make decisions based on my personal convictions. If it's within the law, then I have to vote for what is not offensive of the law. I do want to recognize our first ward commissioner who has experience in working with different concerts and bringing artists to this city, and that there is an appetite. But I want to recognize Commissioner Henderson.
I thought you was putting me out on the spot. Talking about she has experience with drinking, but thank you, Mayor. I said, man, put me out there. I just like to say, as the mayor stated, as a commission, we have a lot of responsibilities, and one of those is to grow businesses in the city. Many people often ask, why we don't have this or we don't have that? Well, businesses looking at our city, many of them watch our commission meetings, pay attention to our government and what happens in the city, how easy or how difficult it is to do business. In our community, people are paying attention. I was earlier, I think it was last year, sat through a Michigan Municipal League women's session, leadership session, and there were only women in it, and different mayors and elected officials throughout the state of Michigan. And one of the presenters in our meeting brought up a situation, and it happened in Benton Harbor. And she was just describing the interactions that the council had with the city manager. And I was sitting in that meeting, and I was listening. I was just like, and they didn't say the municipality, but they were talking about Benton Harbor. And so as we continue to try to attract businesses to grow our downtown, but also to grow our city, we need to be mindful as leaders. We can't inject our own personal opinions about something just because we don't partake or think it's not okay or that matter. But when somebody is living here and investing their money, which means they see their own future here in the city, we need to be open-minded to allow those businesses to grow because they could have invested other places. But people chose to buy businesses and invest in the city of Benton Harbor. I chose to buy a home in Benton Harbor, not Benton Township, not St. Joe, not some of the other places. I chose to buy my property here because I wanted to live here in Benton Harbor. And so when people are doing that, we need to be mindful and respectful that they could have chose to do that someplace else. I will support this, and I do drink wine. As I thought he was going to put me out there, and I do. And many people are looking for these kinds of places to go. Many people go to 221 Main, 221, the Vineyard place that's out further out, and they're driving. And in this instance, it's someplace that they could walk if they needed to. And I think it's another opportunity for people to participate in entertainment and that kind of thing in the community. So I will be supporting this resolution.
I do want to recognize Second Ward Commissioner Santana Warren.
Thank you. I wanted to give my comments as well regarding this issue. I think the development in our downtown is good. One of the things we talk about a lot is we talk about attracting people to the city of Benton Harbor. We talk about our high water bills and how we have more customers. Our fixed rates would decrease. And having more things for people to do is a big plus. You hear people talking about, oh, if you live in Benton Harbor, you can drive to Chicago or drive to Kalamazoo. no one really wants to drive an hour or an hour and a half every single weekend. So when we can get more entertainment things to come into the city, it's beneficial to our residents. She mentioned that there's going to be some jobs that are going to be opened up. That's another positive thing. There's more tax dollars coming in. And again, it's going to be more attractive to people that might come to the city and buy a home here or move here. So I think it's actually a positive thing. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner at Large Ron Singleton.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. What definitely got me with this one was that it is a resident, It's a resident that's been here for, I think they said 13 years, So I think the responsibility, when running that business is probably going to be great because the person is a resident. It's not somebody coming and operating a business in your community and then, at the hours take off and go to their community. So that's something that strike me. We do need economic development, and we need responsible economic development. From what I hear, this sounds, responsible entertainment and places like that. Just like I supported it on the other end of town on Fair Avenue with the entertainment location there for I think Mr. Bullock did that project, and so I think this city definitely needs those type of places and responsible people to do those things. So yeah, I can support this.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. When you talk about economic development and if there's nothing happening, then you cannot run a city off residential taxes. So what happens is now you're building a business district that are paying taxes that begins to lower the burden off of the people. If you do the history of Benton Harbor and you do the study real quick, that there's one street in Benton Harbor that's paying more taxes than the whole city of Benton Harbor. And that's Grand Boulevard, but, I'll put that out there. It's true. You can look it up, research it. And they're basically covering the whole city. When you start putting people online for water bills, that lessens the burden off the residents. But if you vote no to everything, if we would go to no on the history of no, that building down the street wouldn't be being built right now. The history of no says that Project T wouldn't be getting built right now. The history of no says that we wouldn't have had money, $20 million to fix Harbor Towers right now. So what is the reason why you're voting no when this money is coming to your community to improve the conditions for the residents? That building has been dilapidated probably for the last 40, 50 years. Nothing has been in that building, nothing has happened in that building for 40 or 50 years. So to see somebody renovating it, beautifying it, and now coming online to pay taxes on it, because taxes is a real thing. Believe it or not, taxes is a real thing, and that was the reason why we went in receivership. It was not because anybody was stealing, it's because we did not have any money. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
Call for the question.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard?
No.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to our staff communication. The chair recognizes our fire director and deputy, Casimir.
Nothing.
The chair recognizes our city attorney, Attorney Seneca.
No report, Honorable Mayor.
The chair recognizes our Assistant City Manager and City Clerk, Clerk Moore.
Thank you. We are 2 weeks from the election. Election is 2 weeks from tomorrow. I anticipate in the next 2 weeks, we should have 700 more absentee ballots come in. That is what is outstanding right now. I urge everybody to please bring them to the office. Do not stick them in the mail. We do not want them to get lost on the way in here. We have a drop box outside, 24 hours a day. We check it several times a day. You can bring it right to our office anytime that the city hall is open, and we will gladly accept it.
The chair recognizes the City Manager, Alex Little.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to mention, someone earlier raised a question about leaves. The city is having right now a problem locating a place to put leaves, so it may be a little delayed. I'm having discussions with several property owners about using it. The landfill won't take in leaves anymore, and we had to clean up all of the stuff that was behind Public Works, so we can't put any back there. So we're looking for a place. So just bear with us while we work that out.
Chair recognizes Commissioner at Large Kennard.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's been a pleasure to see you, Pastor. I haven't seen you for a while, and all of you. And this is the place to come when there's something concerning.
Could you please use the microphone?
This is someplace that you come to when you have a problem. And I really value you, each one, to come out and speak to the problems that they're having. That way, we, as elected officials, should begin to look into the matters that you have a problem with. And homelessness is one that I took the time out this weekend to go out of town and gather with some others that are doing things statewide concerning the homeless. Because I was quite concerned when I heard about the placement of where they would not have running water. They got a tent, and harsh as our winters are sometimes, what effect it was going to have on the homeless. And we have to look at the homeless. It's not always just men. There's women with children. And a lot of times they have problems mentally. How many mental institutions have we got around here that would even deal and work with people with mental problems? So we have to sort of think compassionately about the people, because we don't know all the people that voted for us, and whoever didn't vote for me. It's my duty is to try to see a resolution for the problem that they're having. You all are our bosses. You're voters. You all tell us what the problems are and what you want to see taken care of. So please come out again and again and let us know what's going on with you. Love you all. May God bless each and every one of you.
Chair recognizes Fourth Ward Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight and everybody that's listening. I wanted to talk, well, first of all, let me just say something. The residents are the one that's paying for everything. The residents paying their taxes. Last I checked, out of 200 businesses, only 50 was registered. If they're not registered, they're not paying taxes. So who's footing it? The residents that are paying their taxes. Yet there are businesses that are still allowed to run and make money. Another thing I want to talk about, the homeless. Me being certified in trauma and mental health, moving the homeless from where now is their home, you should be doing a risk management. Because when you move someone out of their home, a lot of these people are dealing with trauma and all kinds of things. And that has become their home. It creates a worse situation and a worse thing for them. So we shouldn't be moving them, especially from an outside venue to another outside. How is that happening? Especially when it's going to be cold and winter. I can say myself that I'm a commissioner that actually been working with the homeless for over a year. Last winter when it was blizzard, I looked out and got them in a building for about 3 months. why Pastor Angela, been down there serving over 2 years down there helping the homeless. So I can speak from experience and also certification. Another thing, we can use state, federal, CDBG funds and income tax funds for emergency to help the homeless. I would say this is a state of emergency. You know, they have nowhere to go. And they look how it was Saturday. It was rain, wind was blowing. It was terrible. And then Sunday, I went down to the men's shelter to help serve, and a lot of them was just out there freezing. They had nowhere to go. I asked one guy, he got turned down from the men's shelter because the situation had happened prior. And I said, where are you going? He said, down there. I said, the City Center Park? He said, yes. I said, that's where you stay. So let's be mindful, have empathy and sympathy and compassion for these people. They are people, they are residents. Homeless has rights too. And they are down, this is the 4th Ward. So they are my residents. And I deal with them and they love me, they respect me. We talk to them. Me, Mr. Shaquille Turner, Ms. Deidre Fields has been out there, Ms. Diane Young, and we've talked to them. We bring them clothes, we bring them food, shelter, personal hygiene items also. Just talk to them. They are people. And it's just, I don't say another place, 200 Paw Paw Avenue. I would say that would be a good spot. If we were going to take $15,000 to build picnic tables or whatever it was gonna be, and we were gonna take $9,000 to get another sign at Martin Park, $40,000 for splash pad next year. That's $64,000 right there in the clear. That could be used to clean our pawpaw if it's mold, especially whatever it is. $64,000 right there could get it and get them in that building. So let's just take care of home and treat the homeless as they are people. God bless. Have a good night.
Chair recognizes 3rd Ward Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank everyone that comes out tonight. I really get a kick out of seeing this room full. And I want to make sure that you residents know that you are the equation that's missing out of what's happening here. We really do need to have your input as to what you need, because we already know that Benton Harbor residents is very special people. And when I see women, that just make me excited, because I know that we are the strongest of all is our women. So if you come out and you have a problem, this is a place to, if you can't get it solved in City Hall anywhere, this is the place to come. If you just shout out and you pleased and happy, this is the place to come to tell us how happy you are. So for us to have this conversation about the unhoused is the perfect Christ-like thing to do. And I appreciate you stepping out and putting this all together, because we will come up with something that's going to be beneficial to the homeless. Stay involved. You can watch this on YouTube. You can watch past meetings on YouTube. Stay involved, and thank you.
The chair recognizes 2nd Ward Commissioner Santana Warren.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. I have 2 updates. The first one is our community cleanup. Reminder that's going on until 10/25. So if you need trash bags, I still have some available, and I'll be giving the leftovers back to City Hall. So I'd love to give them out to neighbors that want to clean up your area. My 2 cleanups I had, I will be posting pictures. The youth did a wonderful job from both Boys and Girls Clubs locations. So those went wonderful, and I'll get those pictures posted. Next, I want to call out that a lot of times I sit here and I hear people talk, talk, talk. I want to commend Pastor Palmer for actually doing something. I definitely appreciate you taking initiative to go out to help the homeless and set up a meeting. It's definitely appreciated, and I definitely will be there on Thursday so we can all work together to address the problem. So I definitely appreciate not just talking, but actually doing, because that's what we need. We need more doers. Thank you.
The chair recognizes First Ward Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank everyone who came out tonight for this meeting. Pardon my voice, been fighting the flu over the last week. But I'd like to say congratulations to our fire department for the risk reduction award. That was a big deal. So congratulations again for the hard work that you guys have done to be able to achieve that award. And the unhoused conversation that has been started, and I think it was Commissioner Adams, former Commissioner Adams, if somebody talked about, this is not a new issue that we have had in the city. It is just becoming a larger issue, meaning it's not just the city of Benton Harbor, it's also Benton Township and St. Joe that's experiencing issues, and that's probably the wrong word, issues with people in places that you wouldn't want to be, especially with the weather changing. And I think somebody else spoke about family members. I have a family member who's a former veteran who has mental issues to a point, but he just said he didn't want to spend his money on rent. And so he just left and went to Muskegon, is living on the streets in Muskegon, which was his choice. But I like to say that I think it is a community issue that has to be solved. It's not just the city's issue. As it relates to the lot that was discussed, it's a huge liability issue for the city to take on in the first place. And I don't think that is the place of city government, other than to be working with other organizations to tackle this concern that is happening in our community. Because as we've spoken about, winter is coming, and it does. The unhoused people need a place to reside out besides the community park. And so just thank you to everybody who this issue is a concern for, and for all who will be helping to address this. I do have a previous engagement on Thursday at work, so I will not be able to attend. But I think it is, as Commissioner Warren talked about, it's one thing to talk about something and to point fingers and to blame, but it's another to put your boots on, strap them on, and to get involved. And Pastor, I know you've been in this community working a lot of times. We don't see a lot of it on Facebook and that kind of thing, promoting what you're doing in that way. So thank you as well.
The chair recognizes Commissioner at Large Ron Singleton.
Thank you. Thank everybody for coming out. I thank the new business. Also, I'd like to get on that homeless issue also. It did come through Public Safety Committee, and I think in that committee it was basically discussion, and it talked about the problems. This has been a problem that's been around for, some time, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. Even, not just Benton Harbor, I was in downtown South Bend, and people were, laying on sidewalks and things. But it was designed for getting the discussion going before wintertime get here, because it's a big issue. I do applaud Pastor Palmer for getting the religious community involved. Because I think, again, this just not a Benton Harbor City Commission problem. It's not a public safety director problem. This is a community problem. And we all going to have to come to the table, and maybe that's what it took, you know, to get everybody to the table and come up with some type of, you know, solution that would help the folks out, you know. There's a lot of issues involved, like I say, mental issues, substance abuse issues, some just by choice, but somehow, some way as a whole, as a community, we have to reach the people and figure out what's going on, come up with some type of solution to make it amenable for everybody else. You know, you have the shelters, the homeless shelters. There's some stringent rules, which, you know, every place got rules, you know, but, you know, a lot of times they, for some reason or another, you know, I don't know what, you know, they done or whatever, but they can't get in, and then when they can't get in, where do they go, you know? So we got to find out some type of way of actually what's going on, and it's everybody's problem. It's a community problem, and it's going to take the community to solve it. And again, like I say, I applaud Pastor Palmer for, you know, his suggestions and opening up his place to, you know, get this discussion going, you know. It's going to be a perfect one, you know, probably not, you know, but we doing something, you know. We got to do something. And so hopefully it happens, and it happens soon, because we know the winters can be very brutal here, you know. Yeah, the issue in the park, you know, some of the things that goes on there just can't go on. Every place has rules, you know. There was a gentleman down there, I don't know, you know, like you say, the mental issues or whatever, had a stick and just, you know, beating the statue of Dr. Martin Luther King to death. I don't know if he's trying to break it or what. And one guy that I knew, he said he just pulled over and stopped it and talked to the guy and trying to see what his problem was. But he had no reason. He just wanted to beat the hell out of Dr. Martin Luther King statue. So, so we're dealing with those type of issues, and hopefully through prayer and, you know, action, that we can get something done. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Large Isom.
And thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. And thank you for your comments. It's very important. You've been heard. I'd like to congratulate the code compliance, you know, because that is very important, you know, going throughout the city, you know, keeping everything in compliance, fire alarms and different compliances, ordinances that will help keep people safe. So it's very important. Thank you for that. Congratulations to the St. Joe Wine Shop. It'll be opening up soon. You know, it's residents downtown, so it's very important. You know, new business, water customer. The finance director job description. I got work to do, you know. Appreciate it, Fourth Ward Commissioner. You know, we're going to get it. We're going to get this right. We're going to get it right, Ms. Kennard, Commissioner Kennard. Thank you, Palmer, Pastor Palmer. I was thinking about the basketball court when I had you out there, so, but Pastor Palmer, not pass the ball Palmer, okay. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this thing together. Solutions, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take us coming together, you know, coming up with solutions. You know, if we don't make the solutions, old man Winter will. He going to make the decision. Because when that wind get to blowing, you know, I go past there 4:30 in the morning, and I'll be saying, Lord, you know, what would Jesus do? You know, because they just drape a cover over their head and just sit there. I had to cut my heat on in my car, you know. So thank you for bringing all this together, all the ideas and solutions that, you know, I thank God for what we have, you know, because you never know. Tomorrow I'll lose my job. You never know what's going to happen the next day. But just for the day, we got heat. We warm. We ain't out there. Thank God for that. And like I said again, together we can do this. I know we can come up with something because, being outside is just cold. I ain't even talk about myself, but I slept outside one time. I can't do it. I can, if I have to, I will, but that's got to be a hard thing, and I don't want, I thank God for where I'm at now, but, we can help together. I know we can help, not money wise, just solutions, how we can help people stay warm. And, like I always say, together, expect great things to happen. And that's what I'll do, because it's going to be some good come out of this. So thank you. And, the Lions playing. The Detroit Lions playing right now. And so I'm going to finish up. I'm going to finish. Expect great things.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I do appreciate everyone who's here tonight for the part you played in this meeting. I do want to say on a personal note that the city manager, I don't think he did mean any harm or ill will, because in the same voice that he said, let's do something, he began to maneuver and go to surrounding businesses and whoever he could to find resources to help. Last year, I believe it was, I don't know if it was, we didn't do it to be in the paper, but I think me and Commissioner Singleton got together and gave out 100 coats. And there were people who were sleeping on the docks down there on Colfax in tents. And we asked some of them, did they want to get out of that situation? Some of them are satisfied sleeping in their tents. There's a group of individuals called Tent City, and they're proud of their city that they have. There's a group of dumpster divers that are proud to be dumpster divers, and they do it every day. Downtown, there's not 1 or 2 days that don't go by that we don't go down there to find out how can we help, who can help. And I do appreciate Apostle Palmer, I think it is, not Pastor. I don't want to downgrade him. He's an apostle. And we want to just thank you because many are called, but few are chosen. You're the only one here that from any Reformation or any church here that said you'll step up to the plate to help with the situation. But I do know that this whole body of commissioners, nobody's against the people that are homeless. We're not against them. We're not saying that they can't do, but there's some other dynamics that are working that need to be addressed also. If you're in a situation and then you pull out something else, or you're belligerent, or you're doing other things, and somebody spoke to the glass breaking, it's happening down there. You got a food truck that's down there that every time somebody hops out the car, 4 or 5 people are approaching them, asking them for money. That's an issue. And then to sleep out there, I think that we would do a disservice if we would not contact Salvation Army and ask them to extend some hours or extend some space. And everybody that has space to lend some space, and then we can have a sheet where they can go. But I'm telling you, we're going to work on the problem, but it's not guaranteed. You can't force anybody to go anywhere. So we can give them the resources. We can give them what's necessary. There was a young man who came to our church last Sunday who was homeless. He was sleeping in his car, and found him a resource that was able to pay for 3 months of rent, a security deposit and everything. And he cried because he was homeless, and he didn't want to be homeless. So if we can connect the dots for everybody else to get off the street, it's going to take everybody. It's not a me against you, or if you help 10, I help 1. If anybody can help somebody, we're doing a good job for our city of Benton Harbor. But I want to say that this city is working to try to correct this situation. I'm not doing it. 200 Paw Paw needs about $1 million worth of renovation. to even open up that front door. It's going to need about $1 million worth of renovation. That building, the roof is caving in, the mold is ridiculous. It's not suitable. I wouldn't put my dog in there. But there's other buildings that we can try to, there's schools that are not being occupied. And in other cities, what they're using, and I know Mayor going to tell me to finish my comment, but in Denver, Colorado, what they're doing, they're taking even hotels and saying, hey, we're going to get the homeless off the street, put them in a hotel room, get them to where they need to be, get their hair cut, get them if they want to go to work, give them through 2 or 3 months to get on their feet and see what they can do. But there's other options that we can all put our head together, figure it out, and get it done. And these new buildings are being built for them. These are low to moderate income buildings. This is not something for somebody coming from out of town. These are for the situation that we're encountering right now. Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, for the participation from the public, as well as comments from staff and city council. We do have a groundbreaking this Wednesday at 10 a.m., the corner of Wall Street, which will be 46 low-income apartments with a grocery store to service all people, but in particularly if there is still SNAP benefits for residents who are challenged financially as well. There is a housing crisis nationally, and when you have a housing crisis, then it amplifies the homeless crisis. The city manager and I do have a meeting with the Salvation Army tomorrow. We have worked to transition some of the men who were sleeping under the canopy or in City Center Park back to the Salvation Army. And one thing that I learned in just talking to some of the quote-unquote homeless is that after a 90-day period, they quote-unquote are timed out at the Salvation Army. And that's due to the lack of beds, even resources in some cases, because you do have mental health issues that may become a behavior issue that would prevent someone from being able to live there. So, I do agree we have to tackle this holistically. And the corner of Wall Street will have offices of social services to provide help not only for the residents but for people who need it. So on tonight, I would like to establish a ad hoc committee of Commissioner Clark Griffin, representing the 4th Ward, Commissioner Santana Warren, and I'm going to appoint Commissioner Singleton. Will be the farewell appointment. But I do believe that you have yet more work to do as the public safety chairman. So hopefully we'll have some representation at the meeting on Thursday to bring back to the group so we can work with the organizations to address the issue at hand. The city of Benton Harbor is moving forward. We have a number of initiatives that we are yet still working on. We are completing the infrastructure projects, which I know it's been a nuisance of sort, but once we finish and complete all of the work on the streets, you will be proud, as well as the sidewalks as well. Please do not forget to vote. As the clerk urged, drop off your absentee ballot. You can come in and vote in person as well. You do not have to wait until November 4th. You can actually come and vote tomorrow from 9 to, is that 5, Madam Clerk? So thank you again for your participation, And is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats. Is there
Support.
support? Supported by Commissioner Singleton. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats.